Hey Plant Fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle, and if you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I appreciate you. You are so very loved, and yeah, anyway. I'm in a weird mood today, it's fine. Today, I want to talk to you about a very important topic. That is, I've seen it floating around and I wanted to kind of just like throw in my 2 cents. You know what I mean? And that is, how do you know if you have too many plants? I see a lot of people talking about like plant burnout and being overwhelmed and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to touch on that and talk about ways that you would know, warning signs essentially, like that I think anyway, would be indicative of you having too many plants. Do you feel me? So I think it's a really fun topic and I'm excited to talk about it. Okay, so how many is too many? How do we know if we have too many plants? Is there even such a thing as too many plants? Like, I don't know. You're asking somebody who has like just 200 Hoyas alone, and that's just like individual types of Hoyas. I have multiples of some of them, so it's like that's not even counting the rest of the house plants, you know? So I haven't quite counted all of them yet, but when we do get to a number, I'm happy to let you know what it is. I'm pretty sure it's a scary number for most people. For most normal people, it would probably be a scary number. And y'all are always asking me, how do I keep my plants so happy and healthy? I take care of them every day. Every single day. There is not a day that goes by that there isn't something to do. I have a whole table covered in plants that need to be watered, repotted, something, propagated. Like, there's always something to do. So I'm going to talk to you about, I have 7 things. 7 things. To talk to you about. These are, I guess we can call them warning signs. If you have experienced at least 5, I would say, of these 7 things, then you probably have too many plants. And it's not a bad idea to downsize. I mean, if you can handle it, you do you, boo. I don't have like a normal job. This is my job. So like I have the time to take care of the plants. They are my job. So if you have a normal day job and this is just your hobby, you might have too many plants, which is the first thing on my list. If you're stressed out and you're feeling overwhelmed and this is just a hobby for you and it's supposed to be fun, then you probably have too many plants. I feel like that's the most common indicator. If you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out and you don't have time in the day to take care of your plants and actually enjoy them, then you probably have too many. The second thing that I have on my list of warning signs that you may have too many plants is that you spend hours every week watering them and you hate it. You absolutely dread it. I don't love watering my plants. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know some people really enjoy it. I used to when I had like 20, which is the point I'm making. Now that I have like probably closer to 400 or 500, it's not exactly my favorite activity. It's something that I kind of dread having to do every week, but again, if this is just a hobby for you, you shouldn't be dreading and hating having to care for them. Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's taking you 3 hours to water all of your plants, and you hate it, you feel like it's sucking the life out of your day, like, you probably have too many plants, which I'm going to say a lot in this video, so. You probably have too many plants, or you just need to break it into, like, smaller amounts, which can be hard when you have a day job, or you have kids, you have people in your life that you need to take care of outside of yourself. You have other responsibilities that keep you out of the house. You come home, you gotta cook dinner, you gotta clean, you're tired. you don't want to be bothered with having to water the plants. So it all ends up getting pushed to like a Saturday or a Sunday when you're not working, but you still have other stuff to do, and that's not really what you want to do with your day. You want to go outside. You know what I mean? If it's taking away from your life and doing the things that you want to be doing, then you probably have too many plants. Number 3 on the list of warning signs is you discover that you have pests and you decide to ignore it. Listen, pest denial is real, okay? Sometimes it takes us a couple of days to process before we start treating, and that's okay. There's no shame in that, you guys. We're all human, and like, we come first. Our mental health and our well-being comes before our plants. They are gonna be okay for the most part, usually, depends on the plant, but you come first, girl. Like, take care of you, self-care, then plant care. So I find that people who are experiencing some type of plant burnout or are overwhelmed by their plants are going to neglect them usually a lot more than somebody who's not overwhelmed by their plants. So naturally, if you find an infestation on a bunch of your plants and you're already feeling overwhelmed, you're likely just going to feel very defeated by that, and you're not going to want to treat them. The motivation is just not there to do it. That is a sign that you probably have too many plants, and it might be a good idea to give some away. I mean, treat them first. Definitely take care of the pests before you hand them off to somebody else. But it's an option for sure. There's always somebody out there who's going to be willing to take some of the plants off of your hands. So number 4 on my list kind of goes along with number 2 a little bit, and it's you just avoid repotting your plants. Like, you leave them in the nursery containers in which you bought them in for like years, which we've all done. That doesn't mean you're a bad plant parent. I just couldn't say that at all. That doesn't mean you're a bad plant parent, okay? Just because I stuttered a little bit when I said it doesn't mean that I don't mean it. You are a good plant parent. I promise you that, okay? Okay. So yeah, that's not a bad thing. I have plenty of plants that I have not repotted like ever. But if you bring home a plant and you know that it needs to be repotted, but you don't want to do it, and you have a bunch piling up that need to be repotted, they need to be up potted, they need new soil, and you just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and then you end up with like 30 plants, like they all just need to be repotted at the same time. Nobody enjoys that. That's very overwhelming, and that is definitely a sign that you might have too many plants for you to handle if you just don't enjoy actually caring for them anymore, because that is like a really basic thing that I feel like should be fun. I used to love repotting my plants until I had like 10 of them at a time. And then it can be a little bit overwhelming when you have so many to do and so little time to do it. Number 5, these aren't in any particular order, by the way, I just kind of like jotted them down as they came to me. So number 5 is, I forgot. Oh, number 5 is your plants are dying. Probably because you're neglecting them, or maybe they have pests, or you didn't water it, or you haven't repotted it yet and it desperately needs a repot. All of the things that we mentioned before this one essentially will contribute to your plants not looking so great. So I'm just saying, if you got a bunch of plants that don't look happy and you can't, like, you don't have the time to make them happy, you probably have too many plants. I'm just saying. And then that brings me to the next one, which is if they're not getting enough light. I can't even tell you how many times this has happened to me, where you fill up the window with plants because the window gets such great light, and then all the plants on the interior start suffering. So that's not a bad thing. If you're good, like, this doesn't apply to you if none of these things overwhelm you. Do you know what I mean? So that's okay. You should just get grow lights, but you might have too many plants if you have some all grouped together and they're not getting enough light. They're just all fighting for the same light, and there's not enough for everybody to go around. So that could be a sign that you have too many plants, or at least too many plants in one area if some are getting neglected, because that's a thing. You forget that they're there. Which brings me to the last thing on the list, number 7, and that is your plants get lost. This one should count for double, okay? If you lose plants and you don't know where they are, you can't find them, you have too many plants. And this applies to me as well, okay? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I don't have too many plants for a normal human being to have. I lose plants all the time, especially baby Hoyas. I'll be like laying in bed at night thinking to myself, I haven't seen that plant in a while. Where is it? And then I start panicking because I can't remember the last place that I saw it. So, yeah. Or if you're cleaning out a cabinet or a greenhouse or something along those lines and you discover a plant in the corner that you forgot about, I think it's safe to say that you probably have too many plants. So, yeah, that's really it for this video, you guys. If you have experienced at least 5 out of these 7 things and they overwhelm you, you probably have too many plants. I don't know. I'm not a therapist. I'm just saying. I know that it's really common for people to get into plants and get super excited and just keep buying plants and buying plants and buying plants. And then one day you wake up and you're like, wait a minute, how did I get here? Now I have like 50 plants that I need to water and I don't have time to water them all. If you can't keep them happy, somebody else can who has the time to do it. Do you know what I mean? So again, this does not apply to you if you are perfectly capable of handling it like me. Obviously, I do get overwhelmed sometimes. Obviously, things might go a day or 2 longer without being watered or repotted than they should. But like I said, this is my full-time job. I am the plant lady. So it's okay. Like, I can take a nap on the couch for an hour and then get up and continue on with my chores if I need to. So I get that that's not an option for most people. I'm just here to tell you that if you're overwhelmed or you're feeling burnt out, it's okay to admit that you have too many plants and start downsizing. Stick to the plants that you love. Something that I really wish that I would have done when I started collecting plants was just to take it slow down, enjoy the process, enjoy taking care of a few at a time, get to know them, get to know their needs, and really only bring in plants that make you happy. I think that we get into this like mindset of like buy, I need more, because they make us so happy. It's like a dopamine button that you just like keep pushing over and over and over again, and then you get to the point where it's not making you happy anymore. It's stressing you out, and that's not good. We don't want to do that. So definitely keep these things in mind. Share this video with your planty friends if you think they might be experiencing plant burnout or feeling overwhelmed. Again, if this is just a hobby and you feel overwhelmed, you have too many plants, okay? And it's okay to get rid of some. There are plenty of people that will happily adopt your plants, okay? Anyway, fam, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, you should give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's a join button down there too if you want to be part of the official plant fam, enjoy some perks. I've been doing lots more members only content, so if you're interested in seeing extra unboxings and even more like vloggy chill stuff from me, definitely come over. Or you can join the Facebook group. You won't get the perks of the Plant Fam membership, but you can come and hang out and get to know me, get to know each other, make some friends, and it's fun. I like it. Surprisingly, I've been enjoying Facebook groups. I've joined a few, so there is that. Anyway, there's also a super thanks button if you want to super thanks me and donate a couple of dollars to my channel. Every little bit is appreciated. I cannot do this without you guys. And check out my shop. Obviously, you guys know that I switched from Etsy to Square, and you can check out that website. It's really easy to use. I haven't had any issues. People are really enjoying it, so check it out. It's going to be 10% off on my website automatically compared to the prices on Etsy. You don't need a code or anything like that. So yeah, and there are some things on sale, so definitely go and check it out. And I appreciate you, fam. I hope that you found this video helpful, maybe a little bit entertaining at least, and I also hope that I see you in the next one. Bye!